Hello everyone, welcome back. This time we're going to be looking at Liu Kang and Katana in the newest balance patch and see what has been nerfed or adjusted or buffed or whatever has changed is the short of it with both of these characters. Starting things off with Liu Kang, forward 3 has had reduced pushback on the second hit. So this move right here, if I make her block, you can see still -9, but now there's no pushback pretty much. So it is unsafe if you just do that by itself. Now, it's listed as towards front kick, which is Dragon's Breath, which is the 3 kicks. Even though you only get 3 kicks if you press 4 times, the third kick is special cancelable. And if you special cancel the third kick, so just the third kick generally, has 10 less frames of block stun on the first hit with reduced pushback. Which pretty much means, this has meant one real thing, to be honest. We're all used to seeing Liu Kang players do this to keep it safe, to be -8. Right? We've all seen Liu Kang players do that. Now, if Liu Kang does that, let me show you. I get in between. And I punish him for it if he goes for it. Liu Kang obviously still has options. He can still go for, you know, the parry off of that. He can still, you know, if he finishes a string and you get caught pressing buttons, you'll get launched. It just generally makes the forward 3 less of a, I suppose, oppressive tool for like rush down and more of like a combo punisher, whiff punisher, whatever. Because it still launches, right? It still gives Liu Kang really good damage, and it is a meterless launch. He can still use it, just not in the same kind of fashion that we've seen before, where he can just go to the low one to make it safe. And that's it for Luohan Xuan. So I'm going to go to Wuxi Legend for the rest. Although low fireball recovers 3 frames slower and has more frames of hit stun, so a slight adjustment onto the low fireball. Although I wonder if does that mean that his corner combos work differently? I know the low fireball, it just says low fireball, but it doesn't say amped low fireball. I'm just going to quickly consult Twitch chat, guys. Does the low fireball change affect his corner combos, or are they the same? Because I'm pretty sure the corner combos are only dependent on amplified. I'm just going to quickly, for those of you watching on YouTube, I am streaming this right now as well, so I'm just consulting Twitch chat. Do you guys know corner? Yeah, so the corner combo is still the same, right? It's just if done normally by itself. Okay, good. Just wanted to confirm that before I say anything. I don't want to be spreading no misinformation. Okay, so the projectile created from a successful energy parry while Dragon's Fire is active will now cause a true stun. The last time we saw the word true stun in this patch notes was for the shades, the throw-in shades, and we all saw how much of an impact that was making. Remember, Wuxi Legend is pretty much centered around Dragon's Fire, which is this buff, you know, where he, whoops, obviously 6%. It buffs the damage of his fire, gives him full screen teleports and stuff. Also gives, he also gets the energy parry. But if he's got the Wuxi buff activated, there we go, it's down back 2. Sorry, I like never played Wuxi Legend in my life, so I don't have the familiar muscle memory. So you have a projectile parry here, which usually just destroys them. But if you've got the buff activated, it sends a projectile back. So if I have her throw a fan at me, it just destroys it. But if I have the parry activated, and don't suck ass, come on, Jake. Right, so that's a stunned state, which pretty much means that if I've got the buff activated and I reflect that shit, or just get hit, I am no Wuxi Legend. You want to throw a projectile at me? Eats 27%. Now, I'm pretty sure he can get... I've seen some Twitter clips around of, like, ridiculous combos that he can get now. But, I mean, you just look at that, right? Like, this gives him quite a lot of damage. If he has the buff activated and he makes a good read and he just goes, like, wah! Obviously, they're not going to be there for 100 years being stunned. Yeah, so I don't think you get a jump in. You have to get up close. Yeah, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to get a full combo from it. It's range dependent, but yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so you get that if you want. And that's a nice amount of damage to get someone because they're throwing a projectile at you. I'm sure I've seen loads of Twitter clips around of like good damage you can get on like specific things like against Citron and whatnot. So definitely go give those a look. All Dragon's Gift attacks each do 20 more damage. So what that means is the Dragon's Gift attacks, which are pretty much your options from this. So with this activated, it's that, and there's 2 more. It's pretty much every direction. Right. So every version does more damage now. So they're doing about 9, 10% each, near enough. 12 for that one. Obviously, they're unsafe, so you can't rely on them too much, but they do more damage. So if you do take the risk and you dedicate to them, then you will be better off for it, because you'll have more damage as the reward. High attack now causes increased pushback. So the high, which one is the high? Right, that is a high, but has increased pushback now. So if she blocks, how do I make her block this for demonstration purposes? I mean, I'm just gonna make her stand up. Oh, we know which one's the high. So it's -8 with increased pushback. So that's pretty much a safer option now. If you don't think they're going to crouch. If they crouch, they'll get hit by pretty much everything else. The overhead attack has had its hit region adjusted, which I believe is this one. Yes. So overall, quality of life improvements for Wuxi Legend to give the projectile reflect more bang for the buck. Nerfs to the pressure on forward 3, which I think was definitely needed, considering this character was pretty much one of the absolute most oppressive offensive characters in the game. He's still going to be able to do everything the same. It's just one option now isn't quite as free for him, which is good. Slight adjustment to low fireball, and yeah, a bunch of Wuxi Legend buffs. Let's move on to Princess Kitana. Katana has had, again, quite a few buffs to make her better, in an attempt to make her better anyway. Let's start with, we're in Fanfare, which didn't get a huge change. It pretty much got a couple of changes where Royal Protection, which is what is the input for this? I'll find it eventually. There we go. Down, forward, 4. Royal Protection starts up in 5 frames, not 10. Has 5 more active frames, and the recovery has been reduced by 3 frames. Not only that, the buff duration, should you successfully absorb something, is now 6 seconds from 3, so it's doubled in length. And the damage buff on a successful parry was reduced to 33% from 50. So the parry side of it has taken a little bit of a damage hit, but the big thing is now it's much more practical due to having half startup speed and being active for twice the time, which means that obviously if Liu Kang wants to send a fireball at me... I'm bad at video games, ignore me. There we go. There you go, instant, and then you get all that good stuff if you want, which is cool. That's and then Square Wave as well. Square Wave has had a damage increase, so Square Wave, arse barge, in the air and on the ground now do 8%, not 6. Went from 80 to 60. And fix an issue with the air Square Wave that could allow for an OTG attack to occur. That's it for Fanfare. So, but the fact that your pretty much launcher in this variation is this has given you an overall damage buff by a couple of % on pretty much everything you do, which is nice. If you use the Square Wave anyway. So if you use that as an ender, it is going to do more damage. But the real meat of her buffs, again, in contrast, keeping it consistent, I should say, with the rest of the characters, giving their seem-to-be useless variation a reason to exist. And that being said, Kitana has had some highborn buffs. Mainly centered around the half-blood stance and her version of the fan lift, which is the Edenian Razors, or Edenian Razors. Whatever it is pronounced. She can now do them at 2 different ranges. Instead of doing it normally, she can now hold forward and send them out a little bit further forward, which is really good. Has decreased pushback and increased hit stun. The hit region has been adjusted. Slightly adjusted startup, active, and recovery frames, depending on when the button is released. Because remember, if you tap this, you get just that. If you hold it, you get pretty much a whole rotation. But you can always hold, even if you tap it, you can hold forward. But if you hold it and hold forward, she can do some pretty cool stuff with it. The main thing I've seen her be able to do with this is, if you just do this, like if I do, let's say back 1-4 into normal razors, they miss, right? If I do back 1-4 into the close fire ones, there we go. They all connect. Now they're still minus off this one, but it's an option I can go for. But if I want to go for like 1-2, if I go 1-2 close razors, they don't even hit. If I do 1-2 hold forward, they begin to connect. And obviously it says minus 31 because it says it as long as I hold the button. So if I let go the second they connect, like this, minus 8, it was minus 6 before. If I hold it after they've disappeared, it's going to hold it the whole time, and then it's minus 103. So the second you see the razors connect, let go of the block button. There you go, minus 10. You can do just a tap, minus 4. Minus 5. The gist of it is you can make these buttons better on block. Same thing with back 2, 3. This is like the most important one. Obviously, normally, if I just do it normally, minus 4. If I hold them, let go of it straight away. Minus 1. If I hold forward, minus 4. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. There's not really much more for me to say. They're better for combos as well, I know for sure. But the big thing is you can make pretty much anything on block safer. You know, if you can get the razors to connect with a new far distance, you know, down 4 into it to poke. Let me get close to show that again. Now, I think it's still side dependent though. I think it's still... Yeah, it's still side dependent to get them to hit all the time, which honestly I think is still a bit of a shame. I was hoping they would change that to be, you know, the other side. But as long as you're aware of where you are, you can make yourself very, you know, barely minus on a lot of what you do. And it doesn't cost you anything, right? It doesn't cost resources to use these or hold them based on that. But a big change is the half blood stance gutted crushing blow. This is... Doesn't sound like much, but basically the point of this is... I'm going to turn on easy crushing blows. Player 2. If you hit this, which is something she gets... I mean, it's not going to help if he blocks it, is it? If you get this, obviously the crushing blow... If you hit 3 of your seeking size, you get a combo on this. You can now, mid-screen, get a jump 2. Which you couldn't before. It would whiff. Now you get a jump 2 or just jump normals. Because the whole point of this buff is... Half blood, gutted, crushing blow, recovery has been reduced, which means you get to move much quicker. Half blood stance dive kick now enters a ducking state on the 5th frame of the attack while lowering to the ground, which means that if you're going on a projectile, I will show that. But I'm going to stick with this one first. So pretty much the gist of this is if you get a hit confirm... You can, okay, but you actually get the thing. There you go. Get jump 2. I actually don't know what the optimal is off this. Let me just quickly try it. Whatever will work, pretty much. I'm going to try jump 2. I'm going to try jump 2 into back 1 for whatever. Let's try that. Actually, I'll keep it easier. I know what to do. I'll keep it even easier. Yeah, that'll do. And that means you can spend another crushing blow there if you want, and obviously get a nice amount of damage. But it's just giving you a little bit more damage mid-screen off of this, right? You know, you're not going to be cutting it so short. And then, did I not get the amplify? My bad. I think I've got really bad at video games. My video game skill has decreased. Why am I not getting the amplify? Wait, you don't amplify it, do you? You just hold it. God, I haven't played Katana in so long. Yeah, you actually don't amplify it. You literally just hold the button. I am an idiot. Bear with me. We got it in the end, my friends. We figured it out. We figured out my silly mistake. But yeah, the short of it is, mid-screen, it gives you more combo potential. I'm sure she gets more in the corner as well. I don't know what they are, but again, anything that will help. A crushing blow that takes that long to build up, anything that helps you get that just extra maximum amount of damage is like... Definitely going to be really useful to her overall. And finally, yeah, the half blood stance dive kick now enters a ducking state on the 5th frame while lowering to the ground. I've not tested this, but I see in my mind how this would work. So 1, 2, fireball. Let's do. How late can you do this? There you go. So she goes into a ducking state while teleporting. So if you do find yourself going under a, you know, a fireball, you can do that and smack it. And that's it for Katana. Once more, that they are again two characters that you know, have benefited from the poke into. I actually don't know about her. We'll try. Yeah. There's quite a lot of delay on the down one with her, but again, yeah. She's another character that can do it. Liu Kang is exactly the same. Yeah, even easier with the down 3 with her. So yeah. That's pretty much that for these two. Liu Kang, Wuxi Legend improvements, damage increase, you know, better use of the buffed parry to get a combo if you can, or a fly kick, just get some more damage for it if you do want to play it. More damage off the Wuxi options, and a slight offense nerf with the forward 3 changes. And Katana, again, making the absorb better in the other variation, and in Fanfare, and Highborn getting some improvements to the crushing blow. You know, the real crushing blow you pick this variation for, and more utility of using the dive kick to go under projectiles. I believe I haven't missed anything out. I think that's pretty much it with these two. Yeah, I think that's it. Right, so for one more time, guys, thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you for the next 2 characters.